Hello, beautiful people. Good news, I guess. I have a tripod now. My mom saw me filming on, stacks of books, so she'd get me a tripod because she's so sweet and supportive at times. So, thankfully, my surroundings are a bit more stable. Today, I will be reviewing The Bride of the Stars by Brian K. Prosek. I got it as an audio arc from NetGalley, so without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, and apologies for not providing any content on last Sunday, the 20th of March, because Hafsa and I were going through some stuff. We filmed a 7-hour long video, An Ember in the Ashes, the Quartet, or An Ember in the Ashes series deep dive. We get into the details, and there are some unpopular opinions. So you might want to check up on that whenever it drops. I do not think, for Hafsa's sake, that it'll drop soon, but I don't know, she's kind of crazy. Ooh, Batman shirt, by the way, and I don't know if he's from Marvel or DC. I know this is gonna make Hafsa so mad. Love it. Anyway, The Bride of the Stars is a sci-fi novel. The Bride of the Stars is a sci-fi YA young adult novel with galactic civilizations, and the political, and it revolves around. Basically, it features just galactic civilizations, and it revolves, or it just contains themes of the political atmosphere of said regions and civilizations. So, the book starts off with an info dump. It's clever, but it's still an info dump. It basically starts off with a toy, like a game. It's a very futuristic settings, right? Also for, intergalactic missions and spaceships and whatnot. So it's a very futuristic, militaristic game. A lot of mystics, I know, with logistics. So it's a very militaristic game that kind of gives you an info dump of these space crystals that can be used as fuels, which had also been found on Earth, and there are other places that these crystals can be found. I don't really remember what these crystals are called, but these crystals are quasi-magical substances that can be used as medicines or medical advances if it's grounded up, but it needs to be intact, and it can provide such a large amount of energy that it can wrought destruction on a global scale, especially if it's a big crystal. So they find a big crystal, woohoo! And political chaos ensues. Intra and inter-political of the Earth. Earth has been divided into 7 regions with 4 legions with 7 continents, or whatever. It's been a while since I read it. Let me check. When did I finish reading? 11th March. It's 22nd March. I kind of had gone through a mini slump because I've been watching Euphoria and reading non-mentionable stuff, okay? I'm not gonna leave any proof on the internet of what I've been doing. I've been reading, but, questionable. Anyways, so as a militaristic game, it also provides you an info dump on how the military works. Okay, so let's get one thing clear, that I very much think that this book is a YA / middle grade. I think it would be a great starter or an introduction to sci-fi fantasy, because it kind of gets tropey and it's very simplistic. Yeah, it's just very simplistic and tropey. I already said that. Why did I repeat myself? Anyways, this whole new setting is kind of distracting me because it seems so professional, and here I am. Yay! As it relies so heavily on tropes, I think it wouldn't be such a great read for a more advanced or a little bit more mature audiences, because some wacky stuff happens here, and not gonna lie, I kind of cringed on the inside, not gonna lie. The characters were cartoonish at times, or especially how the narrator made them sound. Oh my goodness. When he narrates dialogues, I wanted to check my notes if I have any interactions to act out, but I don't, and it's been 11 days, I don't really remember, but what I do remember is the characters were so loony. Like, was I watching or listening to Looney Tunes or something? Because, yikes. But it would be very appropriate for the intended audience, but YA is like 13 to 17, and it's simply too big of an age range, so it's just a miscommunication trope between me and the publishers. They really need to find intermediate stage from YA / middle grade to YA, as there is a new adult that has gained popularity through demand. I really think there needs to be another. YA was and still is very general. There's a lot of difference in opinion on what teenager, as in a 13-year-old, or what a 19-year-old could enjoy and would enjoy. It's not the author's fault, nor is it the narrator's fault. They went with what they had in mind, and they did it brilliantly. It just wasn't what I was expecting when I was going into the book, which I got into it, I guess. I adapted pretty quickly when I realized what was going on, because it happens semi-regularly when I review arcs, because there aren't many reviews to go off of. Okay, so there is a very huge plot armor, because the main bad guy, the big bad villain, with his mustache twirling or whatever, threatens to kill the main character so many times, but never just gets it over and done with. But he's portrayed as so ruthless and would kill any side characters without hesitation, and he does. But, he would, minor spoilers, but not that much, because it's kind of mentioned in the synopsis that his Uncle Ben dies. His name is Uncle Ben, by the way. Okay, so the big bad villain is so... he would kill all the side characters without any hesitation, but he would leave a 7-year-old as a witness to his crime, because, listen, kids can't keep anything down, okay? That's what I'm just saying, because if I was hypothetically a murderer, then I would not hesitate to oof a child, because they would not hesitate to rat me out. They are snitches to the extreme. I'm sweating again because we aren't too cool for the summer, apparently. My room is overheating again. While I said all of these, it wasn't really enough for me to give this book 2 stars, which I did. so far it has just been that, oh, I didn't like it, but it's not the author's fault. I didn't like it, but it's not the narrator's fault. They did what they had to do. I expected something else. I was in the mood for something else. But there is this one thing that so I would have just rationally given it a 3 stars and moved on with my life, but I had to be a social justice warrior or something because I gave it a 2 stars because of one specific reason. There was a hostage situation, or slash the maiden interest trope. So there is this character of the only female character of the trio. Main protagonist, Jake, his best friend, Cal, and his sister, like Cal's sister, slash the love interest, who happens to be Diane. And Diane is put in a hostage situation where she is held hostage by a big bad villain. And, well, I would have loved to see that she, could put some effort into, like, getting herself out, maybe, or, like, it would have been to happen anything from her, because it at least showed me what she does while she's a captive, while she is suffering, while she thinks at her darkest hour, where she thinks she is a hostage at an enemy planet or in a hostile territory, where she believes that she doesn't have any person coming to the rescue. Like, what is she doing at that moment? I wanted to know that. Or even if she had any agency in her captivity, as it was implied. Moving on, Cal and Jake kind of coming in to save the day and blah blah blah, which I didn't really enjoy. It just kind of, even when I, rewired my expectations to fit into a middle grade or, just a younger audience. But it still kind of fell flat for me, that single trope, because for obvious reasons, because kids are impressionable, and yeah. There was another point I was going to make, but I completely forgot. Oh, yes. Dan and Cal, they would have been so much more interesting if they were the ones working together to, save Jake, maybe? Uh-huh. So, listen, Dan is like the language expert, the ambassador, the diplomat, whatever, and Cal is the nerdy guy, he does nerdy stuff, he engineers rockets to do some things that never been done before, etc., etc. He plays the military games that actually helps them overcome stuff, overcome challenges, or, you get the drill. I don't know why I'm here, but they would have been so much easier to work with, but instead of Jay with the plot armor guy. So, yeah, that's it for the video. I don't honestly know what I will be doing next, so subscribe, comment, like, help me with the analytics, maybe? Please. Please. Too personal. Hopefully you'll do it. See ya. Bye.